You posted on X that President Trump is, with his comments, fueling a quote hotbed of threats against you. Obviously, any threats to your safety are completely unacceptable. But we have seen these kinds of attacks or criticism from the president at other people. It's not new. And with respect, I haven't heard you speak out about it until it was directed at you.
Dana, I think that's fair criticism. And I would like to say humbly, I'm sorry for taking part in the toxic politics. It's very bad for our country. And it's been something I've thought about a lot, especially since Charlie Kirk was assassinated, is that I'm only responsible for myself and my own words and actions. And I am committed, and I've been working on this a lot lately, to put down the knives in politics. I really just want to see people be kind to one another.
Okay. Look, she said that she was wrong. That's good. We don't often see Republicans admit that they were wrong about literally anything. And that's a pretty significant thing that she was accused of. Massive hypocrisy on the topic of like the sort of insults that lead to death threats. And she didn't, I think there was a little bit of weaseliness, but I would say that was 85% taking ownership of it. Now, taking ownership of it after doing it for years is nowhere near as good as not being hypocritical on that in the first place. I mean, she did it for years. And importantly, she held the previous position for years as it benefited her, and now it benefits her to have the other position. So each person is gonna have to decide for themselves how much they accept her saying that, but she did at least say it. Now she will go on in that interview to be pressed by Dana Bash on some of her past statements, and here is what she had to say to that.
Agreements.
So just to put a button on this, you regret the things that you have said and posted in the past, the Facebook post that was taken down of you in 2020 holding a gun alongside the squad, encouraging people to go on the offense against the socialists, liking a tweet of somebody calling for the execution of Nancy Pelosi and former President Obama, just examples?
Well, Dana, as you know, and many people know, I addressed that back in 2021. And of course, I never want to cause any harm or anything bad for anyone. So that was addressed back then, and okay. I very much stand by my words I said then, and I stand by my words today. I think America needs to come together and end all the toxic, dangerous rhetoric and divide. And I'm leading the way with my own example, and I hope that President Trump can do the same.
Okay, so I didn't buy her excuses back in 2020 or whatever it was that she made them, so I'm not buying them now. And that's, again, there's a better way to say what she said. Even if she doesn't want to take accountability for those statements, she could say, we're gonna have a dispute about which of those I actually did and which somebody else did under my account or whatever. But regardless, anything I said that encouraged violence, I do. Like that, I think would have been stronger. The issue is that like Dana Bash could have gone on for a long time. I mean, the statements about AOC, the constant statements about Ilhan Omar, the Attack on Titan video, comments about Nancy Pelosi and about her husband. One of our producers says that she compared wearing masks to the Holocaust. Her comments about January 6th, which I haven't heard her reverse course on January 6th at all. Previously saying, if I had been in charge, we would have had guns and we would have won the day, that sort of thing. Like, I don't remember her exact words, but it was something like that. There's been a lot of that stuff. And she says now that she's leading the way, which first of all, I don't know that you're leading the way on taking down the temperature in the country. You want to be a part of it, that's fine. Don't nominate yourself as the leader of stopping tribalism and partisanship. But also, I think we could test that. Ask her what she thinks about trans people and see if suddenly this is a kinder, softer, more Christian-y Marjorie Greene. Maybe not. Ask her what she thinks about Zoran Mamdani or Muslims running for office or, gay second grade teachers. I would wonder, like, it's one thing to do kind of an okay job on Dana Bash, but like how far will that actually go, Jayar? That's what I question.
That's what I'm still questioning. And listen, actions speak louder than words. We know the old saying, there's a reason why it's theirs, because you can say a lot of the right stuff, which she has been. But again, The actual final confrontation where she's talking about what is that Trump is doing came once he finally called her name out. And even in some of those texts that she said she sent back and forth with him, she pointed out in one of those texts to like a staffer or something, she goes, I've always defended Donald Trump. I've always made sure I've separated myself from him. She posted that, how her main objective was to make sure she avoids implicating Donald Trump. So her principles, actionable principles so far, lie with wanting to unveil things with the Epstein files. So kudos to her for that. Everything else, there's no need for anyone to associate with her that actually still wants the advancement of this country and the progression of people that are always been disenfranchised, that have been demonized, that have been called lesser individuals. And as a result of that rhetoric, since she's talking rhetoric, as a result of that, many of those people get arrested, get killed, get murdered, and no one tends to care about those types of things because of that kind of rhetoric. It's gonna take some work to tone that down. So if you're gonna be a leader, you're gonna have to start the lead now and continue that lead, even when it's not politically expedient to you. Just gonna point that out.
By the way, and she's gonna have a lot of opportunities to do better on this because Trump seemingly is just now gonna keep hitting her because on True Social, I'm sure there's new ones since we went live. I think we probably will do the third part, but briefly, I think. So he posted this, wacky Marjorie Taylor Brown. Remember, green turns to brown when there's rot involved, is working overtime to try and portray herself as a victim, when in actuality, she is the cause of all of her own problems. The fact is, nobody cares about this traitor to our country. And then Marjorie Taylor Greene, what happened to Brown? I thought she was brown now, is a disgrace to our great Republican Party. Okay, so she is actually receiving death threats. You know, disagreements aside, all that, people shouldn't be getting death threats. I don't like death threats. He knows that she's receiving death threats, and he is now repeatedly hammering home, she's a traitor, she's a traitor, she's a traitor. What do you do to traitors? I don't know, I wouldn't do anything, but there's some crazy Republicans that might do something to a traitor. And this is what the president of the United States is doing. If there was an attack on Marjorie Greene right now, no debate, Donald Trump inspired it. 100% indisputable, except all right-wing media, which won't take responsibility for it. And he just keeps doing it and keeps doing it and keeps doing it. Well, we'll see. Again, I know there's an equal number of people who are probably gonna respond to this video saying you're being too charitable to Marjorie Greene, as they're saying, like, take the win, bring her in or whatever. I know Jamie Raskin is saying we need to have a big tent. I don't want Marjorie Greene as a Democrat. If we want to agree on a couple things or whatever, that's fine. But there's still so much more work needs to be done in terms of rhetoric and statements, as well as much more importantly, actions. And we are still very far away from that.
If you enjoyed that, then make sure that you never miss another video by subscribing. And if you want a little more, consider hitting the join button and becoming a member. So you're probably wondering, why would I do that? Well, when you do that, you get access to bonus content that I make every single week, and it's a lot of fun. You get custom emojis and more. If you join at tier 3, by the way, you even get access to a monthly member hangout with myself. And you'll get all that going forward, but you'll also unlock years of the back catalog that is literally 100 or more bonus clips and top 10 lists and debates and more. So what are you waiting for?